So what I want to do in this video is give you a bit of an update on the security script that I wrote recently and some of the updates that I've made to that, plus give you an example of it running once again, but in an environment with a different browser, in this case Chrome, and also with a different AV agent, in this case Trend, installed on the workstation. Now, to run the script, you'll need to run PowerShell. You don't have to run it as an administrator, you just run it in the user context. So let's fire that up. Next, let us go and get the latest version of the script. So remember, if you have got the original version, go into my GitHub repository, which is github.com/directorcia/Office 365, and get the latest version. I do update it quite regularly, so go in and always make sure that you have the latest version. So sec-test.ps1 is the name of the script, and then go into raw mode so that you can basically copy the whole script there. So if I go select the whole script and then copy it, close the browser and go back to PowerShell and paste it into the top. Now, I would also recommend that you save it for future use as well. So if I go Control S to save that, I already have the script, but I'm going to update the version that is in there and replace it. So now I have a version. Now, if I want to run this, I simply select in the top pane and select the green arrow there. It's going to kick this off. Now, the first improvement you'll notice is that I have got a little menu system here so that you can choose which different test that you want to run. Now, if you hold the control key down, you can select basically any number of tests that you want. And if you want to select a range, you select the beginning of the range and hold down the shift key and hit the bottom of the range, or do everything basically in between. So you've got that flexibility to do one or do many, and that's pretty handy when you're just particularly testing for one sort of vulnerability. Now, what I'll show you in this environment here is I'll again select test number 4 to try and do an LSASS dump, and you'll see here that when I do run this here, it'll go off and just execute that. But in this case, because the AV is Trend, the approach they've taken is to kill the process completely. So we do know that it protects against that. You'll see that an error or a notification has been generated, which is a good thing. So let us basically go in and run the script again. Now, so I'm going to run it from the command line here. Note that if you wanted to run all tests without any prompts, without that menu being displayed, you could use the -no prompt option, but we're not going to do that because we do know that test number 4 is going to cause a bit of a problem. So what I'll do is I will select everything and then hold the control key down and then unselect that option there so it doesn't run number 4. So let's go in and work through all of those. You'll see that we try to download the ecar file. We then try and generate it in the current directory. We are getting some notifications here from Trend. So what I'm going to do again is attempt to log in to my environment, and that will fail to generate a log for me. Now I'm going to launch Word as before and try and run some macros. At the end of the day, all of these should either generate an error or no process should be displayed. Unfortunately, command prompt has run there, which means that test has failed. Let's do the next one. Again, we'll open up Word. We want to make sure that we get some sort of error in Word and that nothing else runs. So let's select that. Again, you'll see here that we don't get an error message, but that is an issue because something has run in the background. So again, we want to basically have an error displayed. Let's go to the next one. And again, you'll see here that we've been able to launch Notepad, which is not something that we want to occur. Again, Trend has pulled up some notifications for us, which is good. We could go back in and examine those. We're going to launch Word again, try and run some more macros here, see what the outcome is. So if we enable the content, once again, we don't get any error, so something has run in the background. Close that out and go to the next one. All right, so now we're going to try and run basically a script here to open Notepad. It's done that successfully, not something that we wanted to see. All right, and let's continue on to the next one. Another script here, it's going to download putty.exe and try and run that. Again, that should not be possible. Unfortunately, it certainly is in this case. So again, that test has failed. run another script here, and again now we're going to start opening the web pages to verify whether these are detected. So you'll notice in this case, this test phishing site, no indications there that there are any issues. So let's just move through all these web options fairly quickly just to show you. Again, nothing has been detected here by the default browser. Same thing here. You'll see that there has been no warnings. We've been able to download that exe file. That suspect exe file has in fact downloaded. So let us go in here and have a look at the folder there. So we'll be able to see that it has in fact yes, downloaded that suspect file. Let's go to the next browser test. Again, you'll see that it will try and exploit something, and that has again been successful there. Let's go to the next one, and again you'll see that the frame wasn't picked up. So continuing on, again you'll see that it has downloaded another version of an exe file, which it test.exe, which it shouldn't. So we've had 2 successful attempts to download suspect files here. Continue on. All right, so this is again another potentially malicious file here. Again, has not been detected or blocked. Continue on, and we'll try it again. You'll see that we've got potentially unwanted software, which again has not been detected and has actually been downloaded. Continuing on, so you'll see here that this option here, block at first sight, will require you to basically log in to your Microsoft 365 environment to generate a new exe file that isn't known in the environment. So again, if you wanted to, just log in there, but it does need to have some permissions given to it. So again, the first time it logs in will ask for some permissions. Up to you whether you want to basically do that. I've done that. I don't see any issues with it, but just beware it will ask for permissions. Let us continue on. And it's now going to check all the Defender services to see whether they are running. And you'll notice that because we do have Trend on this system, Trend will disable the Microsoft Defender antivirus service. So that is expected behavior, but we still shouldn't be able to make any of these changes here as well. So in summary, what you can do is you can go and get the latest version of the security test script. You'll find that in my GitHub repository. So again, github.com/directorcia, look in the Office 365 repository and then scroll down until you find the file there, or the script there, called sec-test. You can go through and have a look at the changes that I've made and exactly how it implements, what it runs, where it gets its information from, and verify that everything is above board and expected. And then once you've got that, you can save it locally and then you can run it in your environment. The only prerequisites are PowerShell, and you'll need Word on your system so that it can run some of those macro tests for you as well. So again, hopefully it should show you any vulnerabilities or issues that you need to pay attention to in your environment, your configuration. Also generate some reporting that you can also go in and verify is fully operational. So thank you very much for watching this video.